Okay, well there's no prizes for guessing where we've made it to. This is the Flinders Ranges. You don't have to go far out of Port Augusta to get to some of the most beautiful, weathered, rugged, mountainous, hilly terrain I've seen in this leg of our SA journey. This is our first sort of real taste of what we're about to experience the further into the Flinders Ranges we go, and I cannot freaking wait. This place is insanely beautiful. It's so raw, it's so barren, it's so quiet. It's so stunning. Anyway, here's just a little taste. Also, lots of bindies on the ground, so be careful if you come here. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so our first stop in the Flinders is this place. Now the pub's not open, but this is Parachilna, probably one of the smallest towns I've ever been in. There is a spot to camp, a spot to eat, that's about it. Heaps of emus, heaps of roadkill, which gives you a little bit of an insight into what this particular pub, the Prairie Hotel, and this area is famous for. If you look at any tourist information around this pub, you'll see the phrase feral food, and it's up for interpretation, because whilst feral food might not sound that appealing, what they're talking about is emus, camels and kangaroos, all of which are on the menu here. So this place is open Tuesday to Sunday, 11 AM till late, and if you want to try some proper Australian roadkill style cuisine, this is the place you're going to get it. So anyway, shall we hit the road? Continue on. Very cool. Okay, well this is us for this evening. We are literally camped in amongst the gorges and like the ranges here. Like it's so cool. We're sort of halfway between Parachilna and Blinman, along the sort of dirt bypass road, and it's really cool because it's all free camping. There's no signal, very remote. There is a couple of boomers in their caravans here, but you can't win them all. So there's a fire pit. This is actually a really cute little spot, so it should be good. Our plan is going to be set up camp, chill out, make some grub. I think we're going to try and get up quite early tomorrow because we've got a lot of ground to cover and a lot of things to see. So it's going to be a pretty big, hectic day tomorrow, but evening one in the Flinders Ranges is not disappointing. It is absolutely stunning here. Okay, it's early in the morning and we have just dropped past, I don't even know what this place is called, Angarachina store. I don't know. It's a big tourist park here with accommodation and that sort of thing, and very popular for motorbike riders that are doing the Flinders Ranges and don't want to carry all their gear. They use this as a base camp. But it's early in the morning, we're driving into the sun, which has meant one thing: the dirtiest windscreen in the world is not going to cut it. So for basically safety and scenery, we're going to give it a quick wipe down with Chemical Guys. You know, I love these products. There's a couple that I always keep in the car, and probably my number one at the moment is the Streak Free Glass Cleaner, because not only does it get super dusty and super dirty, handprints and that sort of thing, but on these roads it gets so much bug guts and splatter on it, it's not even funny. So we're going to give it a quick wipe to hopefully make the glare of the sun a little bit less annoying and give us a bit more visibility. Anyway, let's do that. Okay, we made it to Blinman. It is bright and early and we have the place to ourselves, which seems to be the theme of coming to the Flinders in off season. Now, Blindman is a really cool little town. Not only does it have another famous pub, as do most of these outback towns, but it is home of the Heritage Mine, which was operational, or kicked off operations in 1862. And Ree was just telling me the story of Robert Blindman was a shepherd originally here, and in 1859 was sat on a boulder watching over his crops, or his herd I should say, and then just happened to sort of be a bit of a fidgeter. And obviously fidget spinners weren't a thing back then, so what did he do? Picked a bit of rock off his boulder and realised it was copper. 3 years later, boom, you've got one of the biggest copper mines in South Australia. Now, over its lifespan, this place, I think, yielded around 200,000 tonnes of ore, giving them 10,000 tonnes of copper, which is pretty cool. And now you can come here and walk the trail. It's about a kilometre long. They reckon it takes an hour, which I've done the maths, I've crunched the numbers, doesn't quite check out, but I guess if it's super steep and super gravelly, yeah. But we're going to do the walk now, go up and see if we can't check out this old mine. But if you don't want to do this sort of self-guided walk and you want to do an underground tour, they do those as well from 10 AM till 3 PM. Just got to book in town. Anyway, see what we can see. Now, a lot of you folks out there probably think that the Great Wall of China is only in China and you got to fly international to see it and all that sort of poppy. But I'm here to tell you that you can actually see the Great Wall of China from Australia, specifically South Australia. What am I fucking talking about? Well, let me show you. That massive wall-looking structure on the top of those rocks here in the Flinders is called the Great Wall of China. And it probably doesn't take much of a guess as to know how it got that name. It sort of starts from the top of this peak and runs the entire way along the top of that mountain, that sort of ridge line. And it's hilarious because it literally looks like someone has come along and put massive square cut boulders along the top of it like a wall, much like the Great Wall of China. Now obviously it's not the proper Great Wall of China, but it's pretty cool to see just how varying the landscapes can be here in the Flinders. It can be big rolling hills, it can be jagged mountains, it can be almost man-made looking structures like that. Absolutely insane. And yet again, wow, there's not another man in sight. I love this place. Time is getting away from us and we're slowly but surely working our way towards the end of this Flinders adventure. This right here though was definitely one of our bucket list spots, Stokes Lookout. Now the main road you can almost see in the hills just down there, so it's not too far away from the main road, but definitely well worth driving up and checking it out because it puts you up at one of the highest points of the region and you get some of the coolest 360-degree views of the ranges here. It is absolutely insane. There's a lot of information here as well on these signs about the whole area, as well as a really cool topographic map that actually explains each of the ranges and tells you the names of them and that sort of thing. But overall, this place is just, it's hard to explain until you get here. It honestly feels like you could be walking through Mars when you're in places like this with these big rolling hills and massive boulders, craters, and just no one else around. Man, if you haven't been to South Australia, put it on your bucket list now. Just do it. Get down here. We're doing it pretty quickly too. Take more time than we are. Anyway, very cool. Okay, so one thing that has become very apparent traveling through the Flinders Ranges is how rich this place is in history. So, Kanyaka, I'm going to try and summarise what this entire sign says as quickly as I can. Back in the day, one of the biggest pastoral runs of the Flinders Ranges, it was, I believe, run by a 24-year-old who unfortunately drowned while trying to save his cattle, or look for his cattle, rather. Basically, this place didn't survive the mid-1860s drought and then effectively went to ruins. there's a stack of buildings here, all thick stone-walled structures. There was the big homestead complex. We've got a bachelor's hall. There was a toilet shed. There was a couple of huts. There was a men's kitchen and dining. There was a carpenter's shop, blacksmith shop, stockyard, heaps of different buildings here. It was insane. And it wasn't just, you know, a station for one person or one family. It says on that sign that there would have been many, many families living here, all working on this station, massive cattle farm, which is insane. And the fact that this has survived since the mid 1800s to still be standing today is pretty wild. You can see the overseer's cottage back here. You can see some of the huts down there. Back up there, I think, is the men's kitchen and dining as well. And the sign even said that in this main homestead house here, I think there was 6 bedrooms, polished wooden floors, a formal dining hall. They held dances here and all sorts of things. So you can imagine just how crazy cool it would have been back in the day to have been working on this property, living on the property in this big sort of community. Absolutely epic. Anyway, let's show you around. Well, here at Kanyaka Station is where this episode must come to an end, unfortunately. South Australia, you have not disappointed. More specifically, the Eyre Peninsula. You have been a fantastic host. From right down the south end, some of our favourite swimming spots that we must come back to when it's warmer, right up through the Flinders Ranges, showing you some of the most scenic and historical parts of this place that we had time for, at least. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you have, make sure you like, comment, most importantly subscribe and turn on notifications, because this guy right here uploads every single week and I want you to keep coming back. Anyway, until next time, be safe.